Passengers look out the window at that huge engine and think, now that's a jet engine. And I look at it and think, that's a propeller, just a very well hidden one. The basic idea behind jet propulsion is actually pretty primitive. You burn fuel, you create enormous pressure, then the gas is finally allowed to expand. The pressure drops dramatically. A pressure difference appears. The gas rushes out. The airplane goes the other way. It works beautifully, especially if fuel consumption isn't one of your concerns, because throwing hot gas backwards at tremendous speed, heating the atmosphere, and shaking it with that magnificent roar cannot possibly be economical. Then engineers cheated. Instead of carrying their own oxidizer like rockets do, they started borrowing oxygen from the atmosphere, compress it, burn fuel more efficiently, get more thrust from less weight. But that compressor had to be driven somehow, so part of the energy that used to disappear out the back was taken by a turbine. At first, nobody was trying to save fuel. They were simply trying to keep the engine running. But then somebody noticed something awkward. The more energy the turbine extracted, the less energy was wasted in the exhaust, which meant the engine became more efficient. Then somebody had a scandalous idea. Listen, if taking some energy back is good, why don't we take even more? Why don't we stop throwing money into the sky? Eventually, someone said, wait a second. If we're already extracting all this power, why don't we use it to spin a propeller? And aviation had a small identity crisis, because the result was the turboprop, extremely efficient. But propellers have a problem. The faster the airplane flies, the less happy those propeller tips become. They start flirting with the speed of sound. And physics becomes expensive again. So engineers searched for a compromise, the speed of a jet, the efficiency of a propeller, and the result was a giant fan. A propeller wearing a very expensive disguise. That giant fan changed everything. Instead of wasting energy as hot, noisy exhaust, the engine started putting much more of it to work, moving huge amounts of air, a little more slowly. It saved fuel. It helped cool the engine. It softened the noise and turned jetliners from roaring machines into aircraft, quiet enough that your neighbor's motorcycle may actually be more annoying. So today's jet airliner gradually evolved into a very cleverly disguised propeller airplane. The jet age never really abandoned the propeller. It argued with it, tried to replace it, discovered why it existed in the first place, and quietly invited it back inside. Of course, fighter jets are a different story. They still love noise, afterburners, and setting the sky on fire.